network are sitting down with Flavia Macêdo. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Macedo.
Macêdo. Oh, that's beautiful. We're going to explore Muda, which is a community currency flowing through favelas, food systems, and friendships in Rio de Janeiro. More than economics, Muda is a movement rooted in affection, creativity, territorial defense, from rebuilding after state violence to reviving cultural memory. Muda is a memory of what became possible when value is defined by relationship. So, we're having a conversation, and thanks for joining. Um,
Thanks so much, Tina, for setting this up and and having me here for this interview, so I get to talk a little bit about me and my work in Muda and the things that we've been doing here in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and
mm,
also other parts of Brazil as well. We have partners in other states and Brazil, so it's really nice to be here and be part of Blue Network. So it's really nice that you're setting these interviews and allowing us to share more about what we're doing, and we get to see what Bloom Network is looking like now.
beautiful. So we had a discovery call, and I learned a whole lot about the movement. And that one of the things that really stood out for me right away was just that Muda as a currency was co-designed by artists and cultural activists, and it has a deep root in relationship. So how have these roots shaped what your network, or the network of Muda, or how it's set up? How does it shape the rewards and priorities that Muda supports?
Yeah, I think one of our greatest differences and what sets us apart from other currency movements is that the currency is started as a part of the network. We did not start a currency to then build a community. The community was already there, really established and vibrant. So the people that started the currency was a group of artists and friends that have been working together for more than 20 years in the cultural sector here in Rio. So the the community network is already well established and quite big, if I'm honest. So they know how to work together. They know how to work in culture and set up different types of projects, and also they know how to build things horizontally, like they know how to visualize the abundance in the network and set up projects that are represented for that and are what they need at the moment. So with that in mind, and due to like our cultural systems and the lack of investments in cultural sectors due to like political reasons here in Brazil and other parts of the world as well. These friends that were kind of starting to look into community banks, look into the financial system, and study alternative economies, they decided, yeah, let's create a currency to make our practice like visible in a different way, in a monetary way, so we can circulate in a way that is more representative of what we believe in, our values. So that's how it started. So our practice then, like as we, I like to mention Benalete as like a resource for this movement, the movement of alternative currencies, of a monetary system that is plural with different types of currency. So Benalete is a great resource for this. He was a great economist. He kind of influenced the creation of euro currency. So he was really deep into the financial system, and he started to talk about money, how money is kind of has different meanings and different characteristics, and it's basically an agreement. So money is agreement. A community people decided, yeah, let's trust, and there's currencies to circulate our products and resources. So once we understand the money is agreement, we can create our own money. We can create our own agreement. and we can then create a currency that is not extractive, but it's based on abundance and based on not accumulation but based on circulation. So that's what we decided to do. And thinking about that, we decided to, yeah, let's value things that our financial system is not valuing. So as we most of the founders were deep into arts, like I work with a clown, a theater professor, an actress, producer, cultural producer. So a lot of people that are working in the performance arts mostly, but arts and a broader sense. So they decided, yeah, let's support, let's make this kind of work valuable. So let's create a list of conscious actions. This was the kind of our main focus at the beginning, like how people can earn our currency through this conscious action. So we create a list of actions like going to the theater, supporting artists, and we are also really worried about the state of environmentalists, how our current system is depleting our natural resources. So we understand that it's nice to incentivize people to take a part and take care of the planet and ourselves as well. So we in this list of conscious actions, we also include in self-care routines like meditation and take some time for yourself and learning, and also kind of environmental actions like recycling, composting, planting a tree. So different actions that we said these are, even though we don't really value these actions in our traditional financial system, once we get the ability to create our own currency, we also get the ability to say what is valuable. So we decided, yeah, those actions are valuable for us, and we started rewarding people with our currency for that actions. And going back to your question, like how the root kind of set up the system, it's really kind of this. I think this plays out how the people that started it, like the values they embodied, translated into how the currency is now circulating, how people can earn it, and also the offers that we have in a platform, because we have a digital platform that people can join in, and how we circulate our currency digitally in a blockchain platform. And one of the main offers that people get to use our currency, which is called Muda, can use their Mudas to buy, is organic food baskets. And we do that because once the pandemic started, we were caught off guard of like everybody else in the world. We began working right before the began like late 2019. That's when kind of our currency was launched in the platform. We set up like events to tell the people, yeah, we implement this, there's this platform that we can join. And then March 22, pandemic started, and we're like, wow, what can we do? What can we do to support our friends, our network, mostly artists that were kind of they had their revenue reduced because of isolation, so they could not perform anymore. So it was like a really economically, it was a really hard time. So we thought, what can we do to support them? So we set up a program, a digital program in which we would invite some of our artists to do some activities and digitally, virtually, and then we would pay them in reais and also in mudas, our currency. And we thought, so what can they do with their currency? What can we make available for them? That's how we decided it would be nice to support them with food, because it's an essential need that we have to eat. And during the time during the pandemic, there was like a group that had like organic food basket. They were doing some sort of promotion, a sale, and we saw, oh, this is interesting. We could do that, so we did a partnership. So we started buying these food baskets and made that available with a social currency, and also said to the artist, oh, this is available for you. And it was such an amazing success, like being able to provide food without people having to spend their reais, their national currency. People understand, oh, this currency is actually interesting that it has valuable, like it can really impact my life practically. So it was really amazing boom, and we realized, oh, we need to expand this. So to this day, we still distribute organic food baskets, around 60 food baskets per week in Rio de Janeiro metropolitan area, so Rio de Janeiro city and other um, neighbor cities.
Mm-hmm.
And we also, after that, after realize, oh, this is really impactful to provide food with alternative economies, we also established partnership with different food producers, agroecological food producer, specifically speaking, in different parts of Brazil. So these partners kind of became a hub for the distribution of Muda as well.
Mm.
So yeah, I think I extended a little bit into.
That's okay. So so when you were talking, it's amazing because like it starts out relational, right? So a lot of the value that got described in the beginning was very rooted in the things that were needed by the community of friends. And I did have a question about how you sort of what do you call it? It's like how do you keep track of like somebody reading a book or doing some self-care? Is that also relationally based? So people have to sort of be accountable to their own agency and like report that? Is
Yes.
that something that gets reported onto the blockchain, or how do you verify
Yes.
these
So at the
actions?
beginning, we were totally 100% based on trust. So
Okay,
if you said
yeah.
you did something, we're gonna trust you. And
Mhm.
what happened, like once pandemic started, and people were having like hard time financial hardship, and we started distributing the organic food basket. A lot of people joined a platform because of that, like
Yes.
to buy the food.
Yeah.
And so we deliver it at home. So we employ like 4 drivers to deliver the food basket at home. So it's a really impactful project.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were joining. And I don't know, I think there were like misalignment into really understanding what the purpose of these contracts was. And maybe some people were kind of not with well intentions as well. So what we started realizing is that a lot of people would kind of claim all those actions the same day. So we had like really we couldn't process all the claims because how it works is that we go to the platform and the claim for like, the conscious actions or different actions that we set up
Mm.
in our platform, and then we have like approval time. So people that are in the network that are set up as reviewers get to approve or disapprove the claim. So what happened is that we had like a really boon of actions and actions that were not properly, I would say, claimed, and the trust was kind of broken. Maybe people didn't really understand what was happening. They were just clicking the button, let's click all the things and see what happens. And we understand, okay, the systems need some improvement.
Yeah.
So we now we ask for a proof, like a photo, so just so
Mm.
you can just to give at least prove a
Yeah.
little bit that you understood what the claim is about and you're into actually doing what you're claiming you did.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it works out.
And with the food baskets, was that something that was purchased from the farmers sort of with the established currency, and then so it was kind of like a translation from the normal currency into food, and then the reception of the muda. So it sort of like did this interesting like adaption into circulation, which is really nice, like a kind of like a
Yeah,
soft opening to that. That's interesting. Um,
yeah.
so
And then
you
just
you'd
to
mentioned in the discovery call that the food basket was that there was kind of an interesting discovery that like it contained foods that were not normally available at the supermarket, or and also things that were regionally grown that might not be familiar to people. So can you speak to that a little bit? Like what were some of the discoveries or like the unique things that happened out of like offering foods that were both organic but also regional and maybe a little bit unknown. I just love that part of the story.
Yeah, it's really nice. Just to clarify, like we are able to do this, like buy food in national currency and distribute it through our social currency because we have financial support. Like we
Mhm.
have
Yeah.
a philanthropic group that kind of supports our work. And it's interesting to say that we could be only distributing the food, like charities would do, like they distribute the food. But the difference is when you kind of include the social currency, we get the revenue. Like people can, with the currency, they can buy the food, but can also buy other things, and we can allow other people from the network to offer the things as well. So it's not like a unilateral relationship, like a transactional thing. It's really more about like sustaining the relationship. So you're part of the network right now, and you can also offer things. You're not only on the receiving end. You can offer things to receive the currency as well, and use it for with the other people in the network that had nothing to do with us. And so it's really interesting to see how if you have like a financial means, you can use a social currency to enhance the circulation even beyond things that you can think of, because there are a lot of interesting offers that people go there and share that are beyond our kind of personal group capacity. So it's really beautiful to
Amazing.
see and allow people to empower themselves into what they can offer and really see things go into multiple directions. So
Do you
going
have
back
an
to the organic.
example? Do you have an example of
Huh?
do you have an example of one of those offerings that
Yes.
you
So
tried?
when we started the network, as I mentioned, like the when we started the currency and decided, well, we kind of introduced the network, our platform, and say, yeah, join this platform, we can offer things. So one of the offerings were labor work. So we had a person that did labor work, was a doula. I don't know if it's the term in Portuguese. So she offered to be a doula. We have like people that allowed their homes to be rented for a period of time. We had repurposed clothes, like, yeah, like I don't need this clothes anymore. You can put all different types of things. A lot of lessons, English lessons, French lessons, a lot of mentoring. We have a really accountant. There's the accountant offer that he kind of does the how can I translate it? The when you have to say your earnings to the government,
Mm.
the
Taxation?
yes. He does the taxing for a lot of people in the network. It's really yeah, we have all sorts of different offers. It's really a wide range of things. So it's really interesting.
Can you talk a little bit about the origin of the CSAA and like because that just really
Yes.
connects like to the fact that it's artists, but at the same time it's food. I mean, you did such a beautiful marrying of those
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, so you asked before about the food and the different types of food. So when we started, we were have a partnership with a group that they were distributing organic food, like organic food in the baskets. And the idea of the partnership is, one, we get to support the farmers' work with our national currency, because they also need like national currency to survive and pay for the costs and everything. But the idea is that we also introduce them to our network, and they can also circulate the currency and can reward them with current, and they can have all the producers in their network part of the community as well, trading and all these relational um, things that we were talking before. So we once we we understood that these there's the difference between organic food and agroecological food. So we understood that, and then we traded the organic partners that they were like more of a industrial company. They did not have that deep relationship with the farmers and all this stuff. So we found a group that is into agroecology, because agroecology is a step further. Like it's organic, but it's also they also treat the soil. They don't use pesticide. They don't the burn the land. It's really kind of regenerative farming technique, and it's also really cultural. So they respect ancestral wisdom, the wisdom of the elderly, the native people of the land. So they incorporate all these cultural learnings and ancestral learns into how they produce the food as well. So it's not only planting, it's not only a planting technique, it's also like a cultural movement, agroecology. So we started learning more about that and meeting people from this. It's a really big movement, agroecology movement here in Brazil. So we started to get involved as well. So we met Agroecological Fair association, Agroecological Association here near Rio, that they were distributing food as well. So we traded, we started to make a partnership with them. So we started distributing their food and supporting their work, and it was really nice to see some like carrots in different colors, like purple carrots. I never saw a purple carrot before, and then you receive a purple carrot in your home, and different types of greens, that leaves that you don't know what to do or what is it, how you eat it. And this also originates a lot of conversations, and we have a WhatsApp group for the community, and people ask, so what is this? What should I do with it? And then there's all this kind of talk about food, and we start talking about food and straight recipes and all this. I used to eat this and my with my grandpa, so there's a lot of history that's connected to the food as well, and people kind of because a while ago nature were more abundant, we were more connected to nature than now. So with the time and industrialization, urbanism, we kind of lost a little bit this connection. So a lot of people share history about how they used to see that when they grow up. So my mother's I one day we received peanuts, and I never saw peanuts in the shell before. And then my mom was telling the story, when she grew up she would pick peanuts and the camps, like and the woods that she would. I never saw that. I never had this experience that she had, like picking peanuts. I only saw it already, like ready for consumption. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting stories that came from being able to receive the food, and it's a surprise. So you don't get to pick well, the farmers, they prepare the food basket based on what they have available. So it's a
Yeah.
cooperative of different farmers, and so whatever's available they collect, and they build the baskets, and we receive them. So it's always a surprise, and it's always a good surprise because it's organic food. It's we know the people that are planting. So we had like we did a short documentary in which we documented all this process, like from the farmers. We a part of a team went there, meet the farmers, the association. They saw then how they collected the food and how they prepared the baskets, and then the drivers, like how it came to Rio City and how it was distributed between the four drivers that we have, and then the families that received them as well, how they started, how they got to know about Muda, the currency, how they what they do with the food baskets. It's a really nice story as well, because some groups of people, they discovered about it, then they told their neighbors about the possibilities. All their neighbors joined the platform, so they kind of created a small community that used mudas in different neighborhoods in Rio. So it was really interesting to do this kind of tracking work of the history behind this project as well.
Amazing. And then, so yeah, I want to know, I'm gonna want to know about the Muda's birth and like how it's connected also within this deep cultural and like uh, ritual and ancestral energy. But before we look to that question, I want you to like uh, the CSAA part, the art
Yeah.
part. Like, how did that arise to have
Yeah.
food connected so closely with art? Like, what a great problem to solve.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So I mentioned before I worked with a clown, and he himself proclaimed himself as a cupid, liberal cupid. Like he likes to kind of introduce people into different works and connect people through that in a liberal way. And he, when the pandemic started, a group of he's from like clown connected to the circus movement here in Brazil, and a friend of his from the region of Goiás, like a central region of Brazil, like a central state of Brazil. They, once the pandemic started, they could not like perform anymore, so they went to work with an agroecological farm. So they started planting. They became farmers. So that's how. And he, as a clown, was introduced to the agroecology and this group, which is called I Don't Do. So they were our first CSAA because they were planting and they were also clowns, and they become our parents. So decided, yeah, let's support this project. This is so cool. And so they became our first kind of CSAA, and we kind of created this term. So it's possible to plant and introduce art and to the work as well, because they were artists that started planting, and the connection started. And they, so we supported them kind of financially so they could distribute organic foods as well. And as part of their process, they already do cultural activities, and they also are a dime church. I don't know if you're familiar. Is a religious movement in Brazil that uses ayahuasca as a ritual, as a sacred ritual. So they are kind of multicultural in itself. So it still makes sense that we became partners. So kind of that was the birth of the first CSAA. And
Wow.
then we started recognizing it, from our partners, people that were kind of in this category as well. So we had another group from Belo Horizonte State, and that they were already a CSA, so they were farmers, and these farmers um, they were distributing food to Waldorf school that is part of the network as well. So we decided, oh, they are into agroecology, they're doing what we do. So we became closer and decided to understand the project. And then how can we introduce arts into what you do? And so we kind of incentivize them to look for artists in the network so they could participate as well. So they could kind of include these artists in the food distribution that they were doing. So they started accepting Muda for the basket that they were producing, and yeah, there's other examples of projects that kind of combine these either environmentalist or really agricultural agroecology practice, or and arts as well. So yeah, that's kind of how it started.
Amazing. Amazing. And you showed me pictures of a an artist retreat that was also demonstrating sort of like a regenerative restoration project, and planted a garden that just grew in such a short amount of time that
Yeah,
yeah.
I have I think it's not I set up like few photos about this process. Um, I can share, but it's not the best
Okay.
pictures. Maybe we are really active on Instagram, so on our Instagram we can access lots of pictures. But
Okay.
maybe I
Yeah.
could share screen. Let me try to share screen, show some photos of
Yeah.
this.
Give a taste.
Um,
Taste of what it is. I was just so shocked because, plants don't grow that fast in some parts of the northern hemisphere, and so and it was just amazing. Like,
yeah, I
you
think
were
we
so
are
short.
totally.
I was like, "What?" Your bananas were like 12 feet tall.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Let me try to.
There you go. It's happening. And what does Muda mean? What is the meaning of the word?
In Portuguese, muda can mean change. or
Mm.
seedling. It can also means like a small plant, like a growing plant.
Oh, nice.
So it has this double meaning. So
Yeah.
yeah, so this is kind of how it started. This is part of the house, and can we see the full screen?
Oh, yeah, this is
Yeah.
gorgeous. I love it.
So this is us like planting and starting. This is this. It was like already. We were kind of managing. It was already grown a little bit,
Yeah.
but this is how it turns out. Like this is me. I
Oh,
am. I'm I think 5'9" in English, in English in American terms. So I'm 5'9". So this is the size of the banana trees,
and
and
how long did it take you to get to that growth? Like,
I think this was like 1 year, 1 year and a half, maybe. Yeah, it's incredible. So
well,
3 months, I don't have the corn. So the first time we here we planted corns, and
yeah.
3 months they were like way above my head as well. And we have to harvest the corn like 3 months periods times for harvest. And it's also kind of changing as well. So the trees are huge, huge, huge. We've been so this is us here like a harvesting. So every time we go there, we take a little harvest, and these are these spontaneous trees. So we started planting kind of above the hill and down the hill. This plants just spontaneously start growing there, and we
Yeah.
decided, oh, let's treat a bit of land and let's let them a little bit here. But it's amazing because they were not there before. It's totally grass. So we started planting above hill, and then they started growing down the hill.
Yeah.
Why? Because soil is alive, and once we started feeding the soil above and planting and putting some life in the soil, then life kind of started to circulating all around the field, and it's pretending the street, and really big plants just spontaneously started growing where grass was dominating before.
Yeah.
So this is kind of when the documentary that I said, we kind of documented the process of the organic food basket and distribution. So this is a family that decided to talk with us, and this is kind of the team of filmmakers and the people from the Agroecological Association. Um, okay, let me see. So this is our stand. So we once after the pandemic, once we started doing in real life events again, we started putting our stands of products that are available in the network
Mm.
in different places, just so we can talk about our currency and say, oh, this product, it's only available in our social currency. So you have to join the platform, and you can earn in different ways. So just by being here and joining, you earn like 20 mudas that you can trade for a glass or a different art and a book and cups and all sorts of things
Yeah.
that are produced within our network. So it's really nice to. I really like being and the stand and the booth, and just explaining people, yeah, it's possible to trade in a different way, and it kind of gives us some grounding. So yeah, it's not only digital products, we also have physical products, and we can also be partners. So if one of our partnership projects is doing some sort of activity, we can put a stand there, so people in the network have this physical place that they can trade and access the products as well.
Mm. Gotcha.
So this is the João. This is the clown that I mentioned. He's performing one of his shows, and this is I think I put it in the Blue Network Impact Reports that every end of the year we do a Celebra Muda, which is like a celebratory event
Nice.
at the end of the year. So now we are prepping for this year's celebration. So it's so João is kind of the labor cupid. He's the one the important leadership in this project, because he has a lot of connection of artists and people that he invites to participate in our event, and we kind of circulate our community and in real life events. So was, I think, 2 years ago, and we did like a sort of events and presentations and conversations. The program is really extensive. A lot of things happening, and this is a photo taken in the I mentioned the Candomblé house. That is
Mhm.
one of our partnership. This is African religion that is really strong here in Brazil, and yeah, is one of our partnership projects as well. Is actually one of the first place. It's with the first place actually, first place that we launched the currency. So
Yes.
we when we launched this currency, we set up like a talk in the place, and then we sort of like a launch a lunch lunch like a food like a lunch
Lunch,
and
lunch.
this kind of
Yeah.
a lunch to launch, yeah. And it was in this kind of a house, so we kind of received the blessings from the entities to circulate the currents and all this thing. And so
Amazing.
this is here is Elena. She's the actress, so she's part of a theater group as well. So these are one of their performance. They have like two children plays
Mhm.
that they perform, and so these were they performing in one of the events that I had. Like we one of our partners does this kind of multicultural event called Plante Rio, where they have like fair with environmental environmental products and agroecological products as well. So we had a booth there as well, and Elena was performing the child's play, and this is kind of a Kulan Botata, which is a carnival party block, we
Oh,
call it, and
fun.
they are huge. They
Okay.
are huge partners of most of people in Muda. They participate in the carnival, and they are really strong parts in this process. We did in 2020, like right before pandemic, the carnival before the pandemic started. We did a partnership in which we offered, like we had a booth that we were distributing water, free water for the people, and we also were partnership with cooperative to collect the trash. So it was a zero waste carnival party. It was a really big happening, because you know how many it's carnival is really huge. A lot of people in the streets throwing cans everywhere. So we had like this cooperative that were collecting the can and recyclable. So we were able to do like zero waste carnival. This is an
That's
example
amazing.
of the food baskets that we
Wow.
distribute, and our partners. So this is Anantu that I mentioned. This is from so this is Goiás state. This is Belo Horizonte state. This was the first an example of the first organic food basket we started to distribute. So this is again a photo of us and how we are artistic and festive. This was a fun moment. We recorded something, just being playful in
Yeah.
our kind of artistic retreat. So this is
Yeah,
something.
you're bringing play into currency. Like that's
Yes, yes.
revolutionary.
So joy is one of our this is one of our values, like being joyful,
Mhm.
always bringing play into what we do. And working with a clown really taught me a lot about laughing about yourself and not being so serious, and understanding, yeah, we're full of flaws, and our mistakes kind of makes us human. It's important to be able to laugh about yourself so you can move on. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really nice. So this is kind of a few photos of the distribution we did. I think this was in Belo Horizonte. So this is the current food basket that we're in partnership with, the Feira Agroecological de Teresópolis. This was the one we did before. Um, So this is the epidemic. This is kind of more recent food basket that we distribute.
Mm,
Yeah, I think. And
gorgeous.
this
Oh
is
my
our
goodness.
partners for Amarundu also. Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Oh, that's so great. I love the way you bring people into the ecology of not only like the arts and the food production and the distribution, but through play and art, but like it really gives me a sense of how much you celebrate people as part of the natural process and also bringing the flow of our currency into that equation so that it's a really it's a demonstration of like how important humans actually are with their money flow intact, like still a part of the ecology of the place. That's so heartwarming. Oh, I can't hear
Yeah,
you.
it's really interesting to be able to talk about money because even though we face a lot of hardships like due to lack of financial resources and a lack of governmental support to arts, to culture, to education here in Brazil. It's nice to. It's also a challenge, I would say, because when we started talking and we say, okay, we have this currency, we can join in and you can offer something. A lot of
Hmm.
people, if they are deep into this lack not only mentality but lack structural like is this structure of lack is not because they are put into this position. It's not only okay I it's not only their fault, it's bigger and greater than that. So when people are deep into a history of not being presented with opportunities, it's hard for them to understand what is it that they can offer, because most of the time we are our thought is mostly determined by external pressures and what like the market says about us and our value. So in favelas and
Hmm.
historically marginalized communities, people oftentimes they don't know what they can offer because they were for so open told that they were worthless. Like they it's a really interesting challenge to say, yeah, what is it about to talk about abundance in places that are culturally and historically being treated as inferior or lesser and um, not able to express their abundance, like really mentally and physically extracted of their power. So it's quite a challenge. I myself once had this problem. Okay, what is it that I can offer? Because I mentioned to you in Discovery Call that I graduated in pharmacy,
Yep.
completely unrelated.
Hmm.
And after graduating, I didn't want to work in the pharmaceutical industry, and I was kind of looking into my own kind of artistical inquiries. And then I met people in Muda and I said, yeah, what is it that I can offer? But my specialization is in pharmacy, but is not something that I feel comfortable enough. I don't really know how I could offer that. So what is it that I can do? And I have one of my colleagues say, well, you speak English, right? You could offer that. And I was not in my mind. I could only offer that if I was like a professional English teacher or something like that. And then I realized, yeah, we can offer simple things. I could offer my time. I could offer 30 minutes of conversation or of deep listening. There's so many things that I could offer. I could offer something I just learned and a conversation to share this that I've learned. I don't need to be an expert or a professional or have any kind of certificates to offer something. So I myself I had to go through this rewiring of understanding what is that I have valuable in myself, and really detach from this market uh, narratives that, yeah, you only on that in which people with money tells you they want is that you can offer. No, you can offer whatever is it that you feel happy doing, that you feel inspired in understanding or studying or spending your time with. And we will find people that maybe you won't find people, but I'm sure there are people that are into you. It's just a little harder to get to them. But once you offer, you are kind of putting a step there so that people can find you and you can explore the thing that is abundant to you, like together. So yeah, it's an interesting mechanism to be able to talk about, because we are so often conditioned to believe that the only alternative is what the government and nation states put into and force us to, that we really need to start regaining trust and power in ourselves and the relationships we have around
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, you had mentioned parallel power in our discovery call, and especially in connection with a favela that you've been working with that was pretty recently under a pretty violent attack and massacre where the Muda was active. Can you talk a little bit about like how community responses within an environment like that differ, um, having access to Muda, and like how what are the dynamics when you're trying to bring something like this into a community that's also kind of under siege or having some violence perpetrated? Like how does that work, or how is it working?
Yeah. Well, I say that it takes a lot of understanding, a lot of comprehension, because we never know like what kind of operation or what kind of violence. Like sometimes they cannot leave their homes because police is it's raging a war against crime, a war against crime. But it's really what happened recently was not a war. Was not a war. It was like a mass murder. This went there and they killed a bunch of people. No due process, no nothing. Just went there and killed them. And in Brazil, we don't have death penalty, so it's not
Mhm.
something legal here. But but then the police can go to a favela and they can just mass murder a lot of black young men. Yes, they were doing something illegal. They were part of the puddle power, but that we don't have death penalty here. That this shouldn't happen, and it's not only their lives like that they took, but also the peace of the working people that live in favelas. And not only that, like this operation was so big and Rio de Janeiro stopped. Like the whole city was on the siege. It was like horrible. I couldn't. I managed to. We had a meeting that day with Anna, which is like one of the leaders in this NGO group in this favela, which is a really impactful project. They work with agroecology and the favela. They work with education. They also have like a group that cooks. So Solidarity Kitchen that they work which with delicious food. It's amazing work. It's really impactful. And we had a meeting with her, and she couldn't make it to the meeting because of the operation. Like they could not leave their homes. It's working with people in favelas is understanding that it's unpredictable. If something like that can happen and they are really not able to leave their homes, they are really in. Sometimes they are really their lives is in dangers because a lot of their homes get shot at, and we have a lot of cases of people dying of we say in Brazil like is lost bullet, because
Mhm.
they were not the target, but the bullets they fly everywhere. They ended up hitting innocent people in the favelas. So it's really hard condition to live in, but they are part of the resistance because historically favelas are the places in which enslaved people found a way to live, because
Mm.
slave ended and people were just thrown out, like with no opportunities, no support, no nothing. They were kind of left to figure out things for themselves. So they started occupying these places in
Mm.
Rio, mostly kind of hills. So historically, favelas are places of resistance for Black people, and they are that's what they're still doing. Like so long has have passed, but we are still faced with the same kind of disrespect for our lives and what we stand for, like lack of education and a lack of governmental support and health, a lot of issues. So it's really tough to work with that. But on the other hand, they already experience a lot of the circulation of abundance that we talk about. So
Yeah.
when we go there and we talk about supporting each other, because they don't have like governmental support, they have to figure out things for themselves. So if
Yeah.
you imagine historically, once the enslaved people got freed, they were all they had. So they have to join in community to build things for themselves, to build their places with whatever resources they found. So there's a lot of community transactions, let's say, in the place of favela. So it's a different logic. So you don't go to the government for permits or license or support or anything. You figure it out for yourself. So
Yeah.
this is still happening to this day. So there's a lot of relational transactions and support that already happens in the community and favelas. So they know what we're talking about. We are not talking about, we're not talking about nothing new. Maybe the blockchain technology, the digital platform is something new, but the deep core of the relational practices of the exchange of goods and service and mutual support, they've been doing that forever. So
Right.
it's easy, it's understandable. And when we talk about, yeah, we are kind of resisting, we are setting up a platform so we can exchange in a complementary way that does not depend on the national currency. They understand it already. Okay, I get what you're saying. We have some resistance with the technology.
Mm.
Yeah, not everybody has access to internet. Not everybody knows. Yeah, we have how to save your 12 words, your password for blockchain, all those things.
What's a
It's
wallet?
yeah, yeah. We don't even say like, well, you only use like this 12 words that you have to save. If you don't save this, and a lot of people they don't save it and they lose it. They have to create another account. But so yeah, we have technological like barriers,
Yes.
but the deep like the strategy why we're doing things, it's they already understand it. It's so easy, but it takes time though to for them, I guess, to know us, know that we are for real. That is something that it's that can help them, that can facilitate the transaction, because they are used to not using a currency, not having a currency to trade. So for us to implement that in their day-to-day life, they need to see the advantage of it. Like why should I do that? And they understand like once we come with some sort of support, financial support, yeah, we finance our activity. Yeah, that's great, but it's not enough. Like we need to go there with like our booth of center of projects. We need to talk about the platform. We need to present the organic food basket is a possibility they can earn with the currency, and all the other projects they can have access with the and present to all other community members, the our community projects, or anything that they could in the network that could be beneficial for them participating in. And so this is it's not like it's not that easy, I would say. It's easy to talk about it. They understand the purpose and the values of what we're doing, but really implementing the digital currency, it takes some time. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
For sure. And for communities abroad or like here, I mean, wha- wanting to create a version of Muda, like where should they begin and what ingredients are absolutely essential to creating something that is so deeply relational and regenerative? Do you have some, just have some hints?
Yeah, I think from our history, I would say community, of course, like a group of friends that, because that's how it kind of started, like a group of friends that wanted to work together and wanted to talk about alternative economies, that understood like the flaws in our monetary and financial system, and the and understood the possibilities of trading and different ways. So there are a lot of movements, a lot of local currencies that happened, and the world, a lot of different stories, a lot of different process. But I think the core thing that unites them is like the local community. Like I think it makes sense that the community already exists. So there must be something kind of connecting you together, some sort of practice or something that really binds you. In our terms, it's the arts, so this artistical group that they've been doing arts together for a long time. But I think once you have some sort of practice that is that's beyond the currents, like something that really connects people together and makes sense that they continue doing this, then you can start thinking, okay, we have these things in common, but they have all these other different hobbies or different things that we can start trading, we can start visualizing, and then we can start inviting people over. So I would say friendship, lots of quality time together, some things in common, some common values, and also a strong understanding to present something different than what has been established, like understanding being unconformed. I would say it's also an important thing. You have to have the sense, oh, we can do better. We can do better than what's already there. And yeah, let's do something else. Let's experiment. So another thing that we talk a lot, it's experimenting. We are experimenting all the time. So being able to say that gives us that joyful and playful way of not, nah, let's not get things so serious. We're gonna get things wrong, and that's okay, and we can pivot and try something else. And the thing is that we're trying. Let's keep trying. Let's keep experimenting. And so that's important to have the core thing, and the feeling that yeah, we need to we want, and we need to do something else, something better. The feeling of inconformity, like
Yeah.
yeah, that's it's we need to do something. I think that's
Yes.
important thing, because if you're okay with the way things are established, you won't have the drive to keep pushing and keep trying and keep testing. And yeah.
Yeah. So amazing. I mean, I'm never going to get this image out of my head. Like, I seriously want garden classes for clowns and clown training for farmers, and like, let's let's make
Yeah, and oftentimes when we plant and we are singing,
yes,
and
let's do that. Oh my gosh.
yeah, yeah,
What a
yeah.
joy. It was such a joy. It's contagious. I mean, I'm really so happy to know that the Muda exists in such a way. And thank you, Flavia, for being a spokesperson and bringing this to, into the English language for everybody, for the English speakers
Yes,
to learn
yeah.
from you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
one other thing that I like to say is that, like, when you plant it, so João the clown, he's often say, look, yeah, he goes into the planting efforts and collective. He kind of he does a bit of work, but also no, I'm not a farmer. I'm not a farmer. So I'm doing this, but I'm not a farmer, because I think one of the things that it's really tricky in our currently kind of labor organization is that we have to do one thing and one thing only and do this exhaustively. And when you get into collective work, you understand that you can gather people, do some heavy work for 1 3 days, be there a week, and the work is amazing, and it will bear fruits, and nobody's left that heavy charge. So you can distribute the hard work a little bit, and you do a little bit here, and then you can do your art thing, and you can trade. So I think one of the things that I think we should and we could do better is how we distribute the hard work. I think you shouldn't put everything on one person only. You should do more of this collective work, because when you're doing
Yes.
things together, it gets easier for everybody. It gets funnier because you can sing together. You can sing along while you're in hardship, and you can rest a little bit, and while other people is taking the work, and you can really make it lighter. So yeah, it's really nice when you go planting, that you go with a group of people, then you can have fun together. It's not hard on everybody. It doesn't have to become like your core job. You don't have to become a farmer, but you can still plant, and you when you go back, the trees that you planted are grown and big, and you can harvest together as well, and cook the things that you harvest together and eat. So it's really nice to be able to experience that in this sitio, like this place that we have for our retreats. Because yeah, we do things together. It's not hard, and then we go back 3 months later, the trees are gone, and we do a little bit more work together, and we invite, we're able to invite people over so they can work with us and can help us out, and they can learn, and then we can have fun, and they can do some artistic practice as well, and do a bit more work. So yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I don't
I
know if
think
if you want to. I was kind of, there's more pictures of in
sure.
our Instagram.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's do that. In the show notes, or like, we'll definitely link your Instagram accounts, but you go ahead and show it too if you like right now.
Yeah,
Also within Bloom Network, is there a place where people can go find templates perhaps or things
yeah,
that they
in yeah, in our balloon, I post a lot of impact reports in. Maybe I can share Blue Network. Maybe it's better because there's some photos as well. Um, here. Okay, where are you? Um, da, 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 da. Okay. Here. So here in Bloom, can you see it? Can you
Yes.
see it?
Yep, can see
So
it.
yeah, if you go to balloonnetwork.earth/here, you can see our hub
Nice.
here, and all the actions and
Wow.
events that we shared. So this is the event at the CEM community, Serra da Misericórdia, that we had like a booth, and then we are kind of explaining the people about our currency and onboarding them to a platform.
Mm.
And oh, and these are we also took like friends of us from Florianopolis. They have a CSAA as well, and they are really focused on composting. So they do a lot of composting workshop, and they were teaching them how to compost, and they gather with other people from the action reports that we did there. This is the Yam Festival that is,
Mm.
I mentioned, like a street festival that they have in Rio Bonito, which is the city that we have this place we do our retreat on. And so we started to go there and participate. So we invited friends from clown performance to for the people there in the streets. We had a booth as well. We harvested yam that we planted, and we cooked different recipes to provide in our booth. So we did this. This is the second year we have participated in this young festival there.
Mm.
So this is another picture of our tiny agroforest. All this was grass.
I was gonna
3 years ago,
wow.
3 years ago, all this was grass. So this is how it's looking now. So we also invited people from the region to be part of the agroecological collective effort. So we started managing the place together. So this is Poto and Rodrigo. They are really big agroforestry masters here in Brazil. They have a farm that they teach. They've been teaching agroecology for many years. This is us managing like together, like the once the work is shared, this gets lighter for everybody, and it's also an opportunity for people to learn agroecological practices, and there's some time for connection, for songs, for singing, and this is like a place we do some artistic work and workshops, and our booth later, so people that volunteered can collect our currency and trade it for products from our network. Um, so I mentioned before, like Lily theater group. She performed in here in Rio and had a booth stand as well to so people could know about our currency. So this is Ilha Cheia Jogmin, the Candomblé house that I mentioned. We went there to talk about alternative economies. We had some healing practices as well, and this is us like talking about alternative economies. We do an exercise that we ask like, what is it thing that you can offer, what is it that you need, and people can kind of realize all the connections they could do within the self that is not visible. We talk a lot about um, fluxonomy, which is a framework in which you separate values in different ways. So you talk not only monetary value, but you talk about social value, like people you know. You talk about cultural value, things that you know, the knowledge and all this stuff. You talk about physical resources that you can share. So all these types of capitals that you can share. This is was Celebra Muda last year. So we had partners from the clown presentation for the kids in the San Favela. We had some other activity. This is me talking about teaching kids how to join the platform and to the community currency. We did a roundtable with women from the favela, and we talked about alternative economies as well, and we talk about the practice and things that they normally do. So this is Anna that I was mentioned. She's the leader at the San Favela. She was the one that got really stuck in all these horrible police operation that happened in her favela. So this is a composting workshop with the kids. They did that last year. So was the party that we had late at night as well. So this was a conversation, a discussion group about cannabis. That we also have like partnerships that work with medicinal cannabis and advocate for cannabis in here. This is another presentation, part of our program. There was a forró party that was part of the Celebra Muda program as well. So we did a lot of we did a lot of stuff. So was another presentation that we brought to Educar Mais NGO. That's one other partner that is an education NGO in another favela here in Rio. So they were doing their end of the year celebration, and we invited a performer that is part of a network to perform there. This is another performance that we included in a program from a friend of the network, and was another performance that we held for children, and he also had a lot of performance in the Celebrity Muda last year. So this year is also the program. It is quite extensive. So yeah, there's a lot of there are a lot of actions that we do. Yeah, I don't have many. So this is João. He's the person that kind of guides us agroecological practice, and he kind of teaches us and kind of guide how we plant it. So this is kind of, I believe was 3 months after we started planting, so you can see the kind of the corns growing, and everything. So this is a guide talking extensively about CSAAs, and our partners back then. So yeah, there's a lot of things to explore here in our Instagram as well.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Flavia, for allowing a window into such a regenerative, beautiful, thriving, like diverse place. And I just, yeah, thank you so much. And I hope
Thank
to
you.
meet you
It
there
was
one
nice
day.
being here. Let's finish it in 1 hour 11 minutes.
Yes.
The
Okay.
minimum.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Tina,
Yeah, you're
for
welcome.
having me, for hosting these conversations here at Bloom. It was
Yeah.
really lovely to share.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Well, have a great rest of your evening.
You too.